Blizzard released a blog post today and finally explained matchmaking to us. It makes no sense. This blog post, seemingly written by Dr. Seuss, goes into the depths of the mythical matchmaking machine that is Overwatch 2 and confirms all of my worst fears. And boy, do they start out strong. Blizzard begins by addressing MMR, the hidden rank that we all have that none of us can see. This hidden rank was the vehicle responsible for our massive rank drops at the beginning of Season 2 that we're all so excited about. The post goes on to detail how MMR is meant to essentially rank you against the general population in terms of how high your skill level is. They even give us a chart that is maybe made in Microsoft Paint, maybe an actual chart, we may never really know. It seems whatever intern they had decided to have work on this chart couldn't quite make a straight bell curve and they decided, fuck it, it's good enough. Seriously though, does this not look like it was put there just to make it look like a real graph? Basically, this graph is supposed to show us that the majority of the population falls within the middle of this bell curve, and there are very few people on either side of it. While this makes sense, I don't see how this is really super important for much of anything, just showing us a bell curve that's not very exciting, but it gets more interesting. After we look at our bell curve, we have confirmation of the one thing we've all been waiting for. Stylosa has indeed been right. Rank does not matter. They told us verbatim, all our game modes, including competitive, only look at MMR when forming a match. That's right, kiddos. The rank that you see on your profile and in your screen when you go to load into a competitive game literally has no bearing on what fucking game you're going to be playing in. This is the stupidest thing I've ever seen, and I'm absolutely mind blown by the fact that they think that we should be grateful for their shitty Microsoft Paint bell graph and a few paragraphs written at the high school level about matchmaking and what they're doing on the back end. If our rank isn't taken into account literally at all when we're matchmade into our competitive ranked games, this poses two major problems. Problem number one, competitive is literally pointless. If all game modes are taking only into your account your MMR, that means that your competitive games and your quick play games, they're literally the same game with a slightly different rule set. Quick play should be a place where MMR doesn't have any factor at all in your matchmaking. You should be able to stomp and get stomped in quick play and know that when you go in there, that's what you're signing up for. And that's fine. To all my old Halo fans, I guess the days of pub lobbies are gone. Problem number two, if only MMR matters, you're never going to be in your real rank, and ranking up at the end of each season is going to get harder and harder. Say my MMR is in Masters, but I dropped down to Gold because I was playing with some friends and messing around, or I got home from the bar one night and decided to hop on. Now, I have to win more Masters games than I lose while having a Gold rank in order to get back to Masters. To make it simple, in order to get back to Masters from Gold, because my MMR is Masters, I have to go into Gold lobbies with Masters players and have a higher than 50% win rate to get back to the rank that I'm supposed to be at. The way that they're deciding this rank is by your win rate being around 50%. So that means that the game is going to think that Gold is the right rank for you because in Gold, you have a 50% win rate even though you're playing against Masters players. How does that make sense? The rest of the article dives into playing in groups and specifically talks about new players. The TLDR on group play is essentially that current state. The matchmaking is trying to find balanced teams in a match, but not necessarily balanced roles. This means that if you're a plat support playing with a silver tank player, there's a possibility that you're going to get matched a team with a plat tank player and a silver support player. Anybody who's watching this video most likely plays the game and most likely knows why that's a problem, because that match is going to be a fucking landslide. They stated that they've got changes coming to the game over the next few months which will dramatically reduce these disparities. We'll try to find similar pairs of rated players in each role when making a match. In English, basically what they're trying to do is they're trying to make a system that's going to match you role to role rather than team to team. This could be cool and it's a really great concept. My concern is that I don't really see how that's going to work effectively. You're going to get one of two things. Either it's just not going to work at all, or you're going to end up with extremely long queue times because it's trying to find the perfect team for you to play against. The final portion of the post, like I said, goes into new players. Essentially what they talk about is that they were putting new players prior in basically silver lobbies is where they would start them, and they felt like they were losing too much. Surprise! Silver players shouldn't be new players, that's what bronze is for. So, How do they decide to fix this? Yeah, so now we're putting new players in Bronze 5, and since we've done that, we've seen their win rate go up. No fucking shit, man. What? As I said, this is a 2-part blog post, so hopefully part 2 will talk a little bit more about returning players rather than new players and give us more clarity on what's happening and what they're going to do to try and fix the matchmaking hell that is Overwatch 2. One thing I did get out of this blog was that there's a very clear importance on new players and a very clear disregard for their returning players, and we'll see, but I have a feeling in the long term that's going to be a serious problem. It seems Blizzard is far more worried about attracting new players to the game than they are about keeping the old ones, the ones that kept Overwatch around and kept it relevant, as little relevance as it had at one point. So, what's going to happen when the new players go play the new game? Let me know in the comments if you think I'm a moron blowing smoke out of my ass, or if you think maybe this guy has a point. Till next time.